Hello everyone and welcome back to the JP on Comms channel for another news update surrounding a potential couple of outgoings at the club, and of course the first of which, as you're going to be able to tell by the title, is that of Mr. Twinkle Toes himself, the owner of Liquid Football at Hemel Hempstead Town last season. It is of course Jerome Binnom-Williams, and Jerome Binnom-Williams of course leaving is a very, very big bit of news for me. I feel that last season, just the way he played, the way he performed week in, week out, you knew what you was gonna get, and you set that bar for him every week, and somehow he still exceeded it. And scoring a low across the ground free kick at home, and scoring a banger from outside of the box and curling them into the top corner and rinsing players week in, week out. I mean, that is the very definition of a cult hero football club. To me, Jerome Binnom-Williams is someone who I'm genuinely never going to forget him playing for Maidstone United. This last couple of years has been something that I've savoured seeing him in the team. I'm very, very disappointed that he's had these injuries this season. I think he could have been so much more influential to this side if he'd managed to stay fit. Unfortunately, that just wasn't the case, and I believe that was probably quite a likely contributor to the fact that he's going to be departing this summer. Now, of course, that now means we don't actually have a registered left back at the club, unless of course you're going to count Rafe Brown, who has predominantly played as a centre back since returning from injury. He can of course play in that left back role, but of course we've seen under George Elokobi's time, that we've had this left wing back position quite often. The only person we have really that can play that role is Kevin Burko. He is someone who of course is only on loan from Salford, and I think he's been pretty good. I think he'd be a great player in the National League South, but of course he's a very big commute from that northern part of the country, and that would obviously mean he'd have to move. So that's a big factor. So young, has he already found his feet? Has he made his friends? Has he become comfortable where he is? Does he want to stay in that part of the country? Of course, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But for me, finding a suitable replacement for a fullback is not something that we've done too well this season. Of course, George Fowler has filled in really, really well, but then we've lost him in that crucial centre-back position that he plays so well in. So in terms of actually going out and getting a new right-back this season, that's not something we did. I feel we could have been better off doing that, especially once Gavin Hoyt, of course, we found out the extent of his injury. So yeah, with Jerome, he's a very, very important player to the team. I think he proved that very much last season. He proved that when he came back into the side. We actually performed really, really well this season after his injury. So I think that he is an influential player on this team. Obviously, in the dressing room, his impact is going to be astronomical. I mean, we all know the character that Jerome is and the influence he's going to have in that dressing room, especially as a vice-captain and captain at points this season as well. So, it's a massive loss. It really is a massive loss. I wish him all the best. I mean, I've already said that in a tweet which he's acknowledged, and of course, I want to thank him for all the memories. I'm very, very much happy that we've been able to see you play for this team. What you did for us last season, of course, should be celebrated for as long as we can all remember it. So, best of luck in your career, Jerome. Do wish you all the best, but it's now time to get that replacement in. Of course, it's going to be a couple of weeks or so before we start announcing players. Who knows who's on the list? I don't. I'm assuming Kevin Burko is someone that we're looking at, due to the fact we've managed to keep on loan till the end of the season. I don't think he would have just come in as a placeholder, but you never know. So that is Jerome, of course, touched over there. The next player, of course, we're going to be talking about in this video, as you'll be able to see by the title, is Nathan Jeche. Now, if you haven't seen it, I did tweet it. Kent Online put out an article with Nathan this morning, I do believe, talking about the fact that he's been having trials at Queen's Park Rangers. Now, of course, Queen's Park Rangers, a very, very good side. Definitely much better off than Maidstone at this moment of time. Of course, a well-established Football League club, of course, with a good history behind them. A bit of a knack for developing younger players too. So Jeche, obviously someone they've managed to identify, whether that's because of my video reacting to him the other day against Notts County, we'll never know, but I really hope not. But I'm sure there'll be some people that take me seriously on that comment. Of course, these sides will know about these very, very good youth players way before they ever make a first team appearance. So yeah, I mean, of course, trials at a club such as QPR is obviously going to mean there's going to be other clubs looking at him. And now the fact he's been mentioned as having QPR trials, there's going to be even more clubs looking at him. So I think trying to retain him for next season is going to take a lot of promising. It's going to take a lot of first team football, most likely. It's going to take a very, very, very clear development plan, because places like QPR, I mean, you can't understate the facilities that they're going to have in place and the resources available to them to develop someone of Jeche's nature. I mean, 17 years of age, really quick, nimble, agile, pacey, technical, an eye for goal. It's not something too many players have, especially at his age. So, you know, it's something they're going to be on the lookout for, and being able to hone those skills and develop a player like that to transition them into first team football is of course something they're going to be much more equipped to do than us. So we're going to have to deliver something they can't, and of course that's going to be first team football. Whether that is something we can deliver or will deliver for him next season, of course we'll have to wait and see, but I for one would like to see that happen. We saw the impact he had against Notts County. I don't doubt he'll feature at some point in the upcoming Chesterfield match, of course. So for me, I think he's someone we need to be tying down, especially if we're going to be looking to move him on at some point in the future. Of course, you've got to be aware, you know, a club the stature of Maidstone, there's going to be bigger clubs above you that can attract your talent. That's what football's all about in these lower divisions, you know, developing these younger players, moving them on. We've seen it before, you know, you've got Blair Turgott, now going to be playing Champions League football next season. Joe Pigott, you know, doing really well. Ipswich, Wimbledon, Portsmouth, you know, he's doing pretty good for himself in all of those clubs. So Maidstone need to be able to develop these players and ship them on for a fee. If we can get a fee for someone like Nathan Jeche in the future, that is going to be something that I think most people will be quite happy with. Of course, got to accept these good talents are going to move on at some point, but it's all about how you treat them in that time, and of course able to get something out of them if they do move on. And of course, if things do go well for Nathan Jeche at QPR, that's going to boost Maidstone's reputation tenfold, because, you know, say he leaves for QPR, ends up signing for their under-23s, bangs in quite a few goals for them at 17, something like that. Clubs around the country are going to be looking at Maidstone as maybe something they've got going on is something we should be keeping an eye on. They're going to be sending players to us. We're going to be able to get more attractive players in terms of players who are looking to develop their career and see Maidstone as a club that they can benefit from developmentally. It's going to be really important for us to get this right. No matter how we deal with it, I think we need to come out of this on top, not letting him just leave or whimper and carry on and progress somewhere else and develop somewhere else. I think we need to have quite an influential role in that process. So plenty of positives to take from a potential deal involving Nathan Jeche. Of course, if he stays, good news for us. If he leaves, potentially good news for us. But at the moment, it is, of course, just trials. He's just been training with them. So it's nothing too much to get worried about just yet, I don't think. But of course, that's one we're going to have to keep our eyes on. So 2 players potentially on their way out of Maidstone. One at least confirmed in Jerome Binnom-Williams. Nathan Jeche being the other, who, of course, could potentially have something on the cards going on for himself there. But of course, it's all about developing his own career. He's a young player. He's going to be looking to progress himself. And Jerome, of course, is hopefully going to be able to progress his career somewhere else too. So that is going to wrap up this video, taking a quick look over a couple of the announcements in the last 24 hours or so. I do apologise that Jerome's video has come a little bit later than the likes of Luke and Shoni Bare. I had a very busy day yesterday, so better late than never, I suppose. But if you did enjoy the video, do leave a like down below. Do subscribe to the channel, of course, for more videos. Going to be bringing you loads of videos over this next few weeks, of course. I'm sure there's going to be some player announcements coming once we see all of these players end up departing Maidstone. Going to have to replace them at some point, so I'll be there, of course, putting videos out when those players do inevitably sign. And of course, if you do want to stay up to date with all of those, do hit that subscribe button down below in the comments as well. Leave your thoughts on Jerome Binnom-Williams leaving, the potential of Nathan Jeche going as well, and of course I'll catch you all in the next one.